Hi everyone, today we're going to do a grammar review of run-on sentences in comma splices. So this is about how to correct complex sentences. So just a reminder that a complete sentence is one independent clause, and in our case, we're going to make a complex sentence that combines independent clauses. But just a reminder that an independent clause is a subject, so the person, place, or thing that does the action, plus a verb, the action the subject does, plus it makes a complete thought, meaning that the sentence makes sense when it stands on its own. So this might be any additional information needed in order to make the subject and verb make sense together. So for example, we have the sentence Sally ran. Sally is the subject, ran is our verb, and it actually makes a complete thought on its own. Of course, you can add additional information like Sally ran quickly or Sally ran to the store. Another example is my neighbor lent me his PlayStation. My neighbor is the subject, verb is lent, and this needs to make a complete thought. My neighbor lent cannot stand on its own. That doesn't make sense. So to make a complete thought, we have to add some information. My neighbor lent me his PlayStation. So when we have a run-on sentence, we combine two independent clauses without proper punctuation. So the two clauses run into each other without a stop. So here's our first example. Carrie ran to the store. She got bread and cheese. So we see two different independent clauses. Carrie ran to the store has the subject Carrie, ran is the verb, and to the store is some additional information, though it makes a complete thought on its own. She got bread and cheese also is a complete thought that can stand on its own. But notice there's no punctuation between them. Another example is Javier loves doing his homework and he always does it early. These are two independent clauses, and they're being conjoined by and. However, and cannot be on its own combining two independent clauses. There needs to be punctuation in order to combine two independent clauses. So, how can we fix these run-ons? There's three main ways. Firstly, you can add a period between the two independent clauses, making sure the first words are capitalized in the sentence. So Carrie ran to the store, period. She got bread and cheese. We have two distinct sentences, each having an independent clause. The second way is to add a semicolon between the independent clauses if the two ideas are related. Note that a semicolon is only if the two sentences connect together in a very clear way. And note that the first word after the semicolon is not capitalized unless it's a proper noun. So for example, Carrie ran to the store, semicolon. She got bread and cheese. So these two independent clauses are clearly related to each other because bread and cheese is what you got at the store. Also note that the S in she is not capitalized because it comes after a semicolon. 3. If you have a coordinating conjunction, add a comma before it. So just a quick review. Coordinating conjunctions refer to fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So in the sentence, Javier loves doing his homework, and he always does it early, and is a coordinating conjunction, a fanboy. So you need a comma before and to combine these two independent clauses. Another way we can improperly combine two independent clauses is in a comma splice, when we combine independent clauses with only a comma and nothing else. So for example, Eliza never can remember her mother's birthday. Eliza is our subject, our verb is never can remember, and to make this a complete thought, we know it's her mother's birthday. And then we also have the independent clause, this gets her in trouble. All that's between these is a comma, so that makes this a comma splice. A second example is, Mr. McDonald lost all their sheep. The McDonald family couldn't keep the farm. So we have two distinct independent clauses. Mr. McDonald lost all of their sheep, comma, the McDonald family couldn't keep the farm. So we have a comma splice. So guess what? The exciting news is that we can fix comma splices almost the exact same way as run-ons. So you can change the comma to a period to combine the two independent clauses. For example, Eliza never remembers her mother's birthday, period. This gets her in trouble. Or you can change the comma to a semicolon to combine the independent clauses if the two ideas are related. Again, noting that the first word after the semicolon is not capitalized unless it's a proper noun. Eliza can never remember her mother's birthday, semicolon. This gets her in trouble. The last way is to add a coordinating conjunction after the comma to connect the two independent clauses. So again, using our fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Mr. McDonald lost all their sheep, comma, so the McDonald family couldn't keep the farm. So the so is being used to clearly connect the two independent clauses together. Now, double check your own writing. Do you have any comma splices? Do you have any run-ons? Make sure you correct them to be proper combined sentences.